where's a good place to meet a man? I'd say in the ladies' room, but...
So it's so funny watching them not laugh and watching their eyes panic. We're going to talk about some of the fallout from CNN's New Year's Eve coverage because they always do this crazy thing with Anderson Cooper and then Andy Cohen, who's like the Bravo Real Housewives guy, I guess. I don't know. I'm not that kind of gay. But they always have them on doing their New Year's Eve coverage. Wow, why can't I speak today? Yeah, and anyways, they get a little drunk on air and hilarity often ensues. In this case, they had a guest on who actually made a trans joke, which I'm sorry, just shows you how much the tide has shifted culturally, where now they are actually making trans jokes on CNN by like woke liberal comedians. This woman is not a Republican. She's not a secret MAGA. She's very clearly liberal, and yet she still made a very, I thought, kind of funny joke about trans issues. So let's listen to that.
Where's the best place to meet a man in 2026?
Oh, really? Well, where's a good place to meet a man? I'd say in the ladies' room, but I don't know. Where can you meet a man? Maybe Bergdorf's?
Oh,
I don't know. Where is a good place to meet a man in 2026?
I wouldn't know.
I mean, you meet men at different places.
Fire station?
It's so funny watching those two who are obviously gay and obviously on the liberal side, and they run in an elite circle where like a joke about trans people would be still considered verboten. So it's so funny watching them not laugh and watching their eyes panic. In this situation where this comedian who's liberal, Amy, she makes this joke obviously about trans people. She's obviously saying like the place that you'll meet a man in the women's room, referring to like the Latinos of the world, I guess. The "it's ma'am" people going around and causing problems in women's bathrooms and claiming it's their human right or whatever because they're trans, supposedly. Though a lot of them I think are like in the Latinos' case, fetishists and the like. And so it just is a really remarkable sign to me, this moment. It went mega viral. People highlighted it, of course, because it would have been unthinkable that they would make this kind of joke on a liberal network and air it. And while it got some online backlash from like true alphabet people, most people don't really care and just kind of chuckle and move on with their day, as you should in a normal society, not like lose it and crash out over jokes. It really would have truly been unthinkable, though, with how woke and how hypersensitive the mainstream media was just a couple of years ago, that this would have happened. And it just shows how much the cultural tide has shifted. And in some ways, when it comes to allowing us to tell jokes again and laugh at things, even when it involves a minority group of some kind, yeah, I actually think that's good. That's a positive cultural development. And guys, it reminded me of this clip that doesn't directly involve these CNN hosts, but involves Don Lemon, who's also at the time was a longtime CNN star and is a gay liberal man. And he hosted in 2020 a presidential Democratic prime hall during the presidential primary that I was covering as a young journalist at the time. And compare this CNN to the one you just saw and tell me things haven't changed. A black trans woman, Blossom, our fave on the Normal Gays YouTube channel. We love Blossom, even though she's crazy. She stormed the stage, seized the mic, and shut down and interrupted the town hall and started screaming about black trans women. And they were like, "Thank you so much. Go off, queen." They literally allowed her to do this and acted like she had done them a favor. I'm going to roll this clip because I think we forget. Human beings adapt very quickly to like a new normal. We forget just how crazy some of this shit was. Let's listen.
I just want to take a moment before I ask my question to validate the pain of our transgender siblings that demonstrated earlier and that have spoken up today, especially black trans women.
I don't want to take this away from you, but let me tell you something. Black trans women are being killed in this country, and CNN, you have erased black trans women for the last time. Let me tell you something. Black trans women are dying. Our lives matter. I'm an extraordinary black trans woman, and
I'm sorry, but "I am an extraordinary black trans woman" is such a funny line because it's so diabolically arrogant. Like, imagine if I'm on TV and I'm like, I am an extraordinary gay man, okay? It's just kind of crazy to say. And of course, Black trans women's lives matter, but Black people, Black trans people, and trans people in general aren't murdered at higher rates. It's actually a kind of fake narrative that is not rooted in real statistics. And often when they are tragically killed, it's still awful, but it's more related due to issues like them working in sex work, which can be dangerous in the black market and that kind of thing. But they used to push, and they still do in some circles, this narrative that like Black trans people are being hunted in America. It's just not based in reality. Thank God. It would be horrible if it were true, but it's not. But the activist types ran rave about it. And in this case, Blossom stormed the stage and they were like, okay, I guess you're in charge of this town hall now. Thank you so much, Blossom. Wait till you see their response.
And I deserve to be here. My Black trans sisters that are here. I am tired. I am so tired. I'm just sitting there. And it's not just my Black trans women. It's my Black trans brothers too. And I'm going to say what I'm going to say. I'm going to say what
I'm going to
say.
let you come here. No, I just want to ask you something. Come here. Tell me. Come here. I want you to talk. What's your name?
I'm Blossom C. Brown.
Blossom, let me ask you.
Google me.
Blossom.
Please Google.
Google me is diabolical. But I'll just say this. The normal response by anyone not cucked to infinity by identity politics and fear of like woke internet mobs getting mad at them would be to call security and have this person kicked out. Not to be like, what's your name? Tell me what you want. Tell me, yes, please, how can I soothe you Black trans queen? And the fact that journalists ostensibly conducting a presidential election town hall caved their entire platform and bent the knee to crazy activists behaving like this is such a time capsule of how insane it is. And now just a few years later, they're cracking trans jokes on TV. It's wild on the same network. But let's roll a little bit more of this. I won't watch the whole thing because it was a rambling affair.
Blossom, thank you. Let me tell you something. No, don't come on the stage. Don't come on the stage. May I have the mic?
Okay.
May I have the mic? Blossom, let me tell you something. The reason that we're here is to validate people like you. That is why we're giving, but that is why we're here. Okay. But
Not one Black trans woman has taken the mic tonight. Not one Black trans man has taken the mic.
Yeah. Hang on, we can't hear you. Blossom, we can't hear you. Here, Blossom, we can't hear you.
Baby, your actions have to speak louder than words because guess what? Not one Black trans woman has taken the mic tonight. Not one Black trans man has taken the mic tonight.
Yeah.
Show me.
Blossom.
Show me.
Blossom. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Blossom, you're a Black trans woman. You have the mic in your hand. I've taken it and given it back to you. We want to hear from you. We have had trans people of color. We've had all people here, and you're welcome. But we are proud and happy that you're here. We're proud and happy that you're here. Yes, but remember, we're on our time constraint. All right. Thank you, Blossom, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's how anti-Blackness works amongst people of color.
Oh my God, I love her so much. She's so fucking crazy. But the thing is that it's not even her fault because they enabled and embraced that insanity rather than calling the police, which is what they should. And then even after they indulged her like that, she called the Black journalist anti-Black. Guys, we will never fully understand how insane 2020 was. But I'm glad that we are culturally at a point where you can make a joke on TV and not try to be as woke as you can and still have your whole show hijacked by a person because they are a minority, and then you just bend the knee to them and give them whatever they want. Yeah, that actually is not a healthy or sane or normal place to be as Americans in our society. But you guys will have to let me know what you think in the comments below. Anyway, I want to touch on one other thing related to New Year's Eve. There was this far-right internet little hissy fit that some of these accounts threw because during the coverage, they cut to the crowd, as the ball is dropping, and after the ball drops, all the couples are kissing, and they cut to like a bunch of different couples, and one of them happened to be a gay couple with two men kissing. And of course, the thing that normal, stable, heterosexual people do in that context is clip up that 6 seconds and watch it over and over again and dissect it and post it and obsess about, oh, wait, no, that was just far-right Twitter? Oh, you're telling me normal straight people don't do that? They just keep it moving with their business? Oh, yeah, obviously. But anyway, I'll put a couple tweets on screen here. This was the End Wokeness account saying New Year's Eve begins with a gay kiss. And then he had the 4-second clip on a loop of the gay couple making out. And it's just, I quote tweeted it and I said, oh no, how will you ever recover? Because it's like actually just not normal to care. Gay people exist and we're not going anywhere. And there's nothing wrong with them being included in a montage of a bunch of other couples, all of which are heterosexual. And y'all need to get over it and cope. It's like when you're so triggered so easily by the simple existence of gay people at this point, it genuinely does give bigoted, and it also just comes off as snowflakey. Like, show me on the doll where the 2 seconds of coverage of this hurt you. You know, it just, I find it laughable. But of course, the Libs of TikTok account ran with this. NBC opens 2026 with this. Of course, they're wearing Planet Fitness hats. I think that's just because Planet Fitness like sponsors the Times Square thing. I think a lot of people were. I don't think that has anything to do with the gayness. But anyway, this was one shot among many straight couples in the crowd, and y'all just, I mean, it just actually does seem homophobic if you're so bothered by a momentary, like 3-second camera shot of two men, grown men kissing. They exist. There's nothing wrong with it. I think it's actually nice. And you don't get to like demand that other people's existence never be depicted by the news just because it makes you uncomfortable in some odd way. Actually, you can just cope because we're not going anywhere. That's my take on that. But y'all will have to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Hit the like button, make sure you're subscribed, yada, yada, yeah.